I'm here. I know you guys thought that I forgot. I am. How many minutes late am I? A few, because I was trying to find the right video. So my apologies, but I'm here now. So we are ready to roll. We're going so far outside of our wheel well that it's not even going to resemble true crime. Well, sort of, because it's a testament to the silliness that we've reached in, halving a half. It's gone too far, right? Just half each distance, half. It's infinity. You never get to the wall. It's just cut the half. People have just gone nuts trying to equivocate, playing with words. What does it actually mean to have sex? Remember Bill Clinton? Well, let's clarify that word sex. What does that mean? Because he wanted to be able to deny the activities that he was engaging in with, or should I say, exploiting a young woman who was, working at the White House as an intern. But to try to get himself out of legal trouble, there was equivocation. Let's define sex. What is it? Well, hell, we all know what sex is, right? We all know what it is. Now, we saw a little bit of that, well, a lot of that going on in the Chad Daybell case this week, didn't we? Well, what is it actually to have a scribe error? What if it is just really just a little editing oversight? What if it's just a little whoopsie? And unfortunately, I think that, the judge is going to have to do an awful lot of that in order to see that this prosecution against Chad Daybell for the death of JJ Vallow, that it comes to fruition. But the truth is, the prosecution dropped the ball. They did. They lost sight of what they were doing. I cannot imagine. They've had about 5 or 6 big attorneys. I can't imagine what got them to that point that nobody read. No one read it from start to finish in all that time. It's very frightening. Lawyers are supposed to be detail-oriented people. And I keep thinking of all the clerical missteps that have happened in this case concerning Chad and Lori Daybell, the same prosecution team, little changes in who's actually, the composition of the team at any given time. But Rob has sort of been the constant, right? So the clerical errors that have happened, and now we arrive years later, multiple missteps, unfiled documents, missed deadlines, wrong word, improper charging. I mean, they completely just changed the charges. I don't even know how they got away with that, but they did. And now here we are again. They're changing the dates of murder. That's an element of the crime. That wasn't an oversight. It wasn't like they put a 12 instead of a 13. Now, I know what happened. They used an old version of the document where they had both JJ and Tylee dying on the same day, correct? But then they ended up finding the photographs, and so that was how they were getting their proof of life for the date. But then they ended up finding another photograph that was JJ in his red pajamas, which gave them a little bit of a different date. So looking at the GPS location, they were able to see what days they were at what location on Chad Daybell's land. And eventually they realized, no, they were actually killed at 2 different times, buried on 2 different dates. And they just used an old version. I think when they corrected the charges, they used the wrong version of the document. They used a version that was older and had already been through had not been through the proper editing process over a multi-year investigation, right? And so they took the oldest version of the document, they changed the charges, but that left them then with the wrong date. It was crazy and it was heartbreaking. I want you to imagine for even a moment that you were J.J. Vallo's family. Kresha, Larry, Kay. I mean, just think about the heartbreak. I mean, Rob already dropped the ball and did not file charges or documents that showed who the victims were, who the family members were. Remember that? They were almost not going to allow Kay and Larry to attend the trial. Do you remember that? For a simple clerical oversight. So I've grown weary of trying to be, what do you call it? Tolerant of the mistakes or understanding. We all make mistakes. Human beings make mistakes. But there's a very serious pattern of behavior over multiple years. It's really, really bad. And then we find out we've got these recordings between Felony Melanie and Rob about protecting the church. You got the murder of 2 little kids. I mean, I'm not discounting Charles and Tammy being murdered, but there's something sacrilegious and unholy about the death of 2 children. So I'm having a hard time being empathetic and understanding. I feel like I want to say, hey, do your job. Whatever has you distracted, whatever kind of trouble that you're having, do your job. Just do the right thing, do your job. Okay. So that's sort of my opening. I hope everybody is doing well today on this beautiful, sunny Gulf Coast day. I hope the sun is shining where you are. We are going to do something very different than what we typically do, and that is we're going to consider and study the hamburger, because this is important now. It has to do with elections and the hope for our future. I know it's a big deal about hamburgers. Okay. All right. Now then, hamburgers, are they pig? Do they come from pigs or do they come from beef? It's a serious question for American, hell, worldwide voters. If you live in a democracy, you need to be able to understand where a damn hamburger comes from. It could have a direct impact on for whom you choose to vote. All right. Now then, we first started with hamburgers being like iconically, important to society and culture. And what you're about to watch is the birth of the greatest slogan in American history. This was a marketing masterpiece. In fact, that slogan, "Where's the beef?" it is used even today. Now, maybe not in commercials, but how many times have you pulled up to a drive-through, gotten your hamburger, unwrapped it, turned around and looked at your partner and said, "Where's the beef?" But before we got "Where's the beef?", it came from the home of the big bun. And this is the commercial, 1983. A lot of websites are saying 1984. That is wrong. It was 1983, and it started with "Home of the Big Bun." And take notice of the hamburger that's sitting in front of the middle woman. That is a giant hamburger bun, and right in the middle, you have a teeny tiny little beef patty, a little bit of cheese, and a little bit of pickle. All right, so let's watch the commercial that started it all in 1983.
Yes, we know it's a big fluffy bun.
Talk to the manager.
It is the manager.
Where's the
He's putting her.
Wait a minute. That sound is atrocious. Hold on. Let me turn this. That was very horrible.
Yes, we know it's a big fluffy bun. Talk to the manager. It is the manager. Where?
Okay, we got it. Sorry.
Yes, we know it's a big fluffy bun. Talk to the manager. It is the manager. Where's the beef? He's putting us under the supervisor.
If you ask me, which you didn't, we should call the owner.
At Wendy's, the hamburger we modestly call a single has more beef than the Big Mac or Whopper.
We've got the owner.
Hello? Where's the beef?
Wendy's kind of people never ask, where's the beef?
I don't think there's anybody there. I really don't.
That
Yes,
was
we know it's a big fluffy
sorry.
bun.
That woman is Clara Peller. And so she was at the heart. There are other Where's the Beef commercials. I found one that I used to really love when I was a kid. Wonder what I did with it. I got it here. Hang on. Man, oh man, I got so many open windows. Oh, did y'all know the president of Iran? He seems to have been lost in a helicopter crash, which, you know, more of the same. Welcome to World War III, because they're going to blame the United States of America. All right, hold on a second. Oh, this is my favorite. This one is my favorite. Okay. Now, this is the commercial that Wendy's put out in 1984. That is building on the Where's the Beef phenomenon. This one was my favorite one. All right, let me make sure you guys can see that. Yep. All right, so this is my favorite.
When you drive to Wendy's and order a single, you get more beef than the Whopper or the Big Mac.
Where's the beef?
At Wendy's, you never have to ask, where's the beef?
All right. Okay. So this is without a doubt Wendy's, really the Where's the Beef commercials became this marketing masterpiece. The whole nation was making jokes and laughing and yelling, "Where's the beef?" for years and years. I mean, they kept this going for so long. And another one of these marketing marvels was like the Aflac duck, right? Or goose. That was another marketing marvel. But this is the one, y'all. This is the one that started it, this marketing mania, where people began to really identify with their commercials. And the Super Bowl began selling these little snippets, 30 seconds. And it was, $15 million for a 30-second clip. And they were making these masterful commercials about Clydesdales playing football. I mean, it was amazing. But this is the one that started. I was living overseas at the time that this happened. And I remember being in Skype. And I heard some people laughing and saying, "Where's the beef?" with an accent of some other country. So it was a huge deal, right? It was enormous. All right. Now I'm going to introduce you to a little friend from Twitter. Here she is. She felt so sorry for this waitress. She felt so bad for this poor waitress. She says, "So the other day, I went to a steakhouse for my friend's birthday. And let's listen to her experience at a steakhouse.
So the other day I went to a steakhouse for a friend's birthday and she ordered a steak and the waitress goes, "How do you want your cow cooked?" And I'm like, that's a weird way to order it, but whatever. So she asked my friend, "How do you want your cow cooked?" My friend says, "I want it medium rare," or something like that. And so then I wasn't in the mood for a steak. I wanted a hamburger. I'd been craving a hamburger. So I order, the cheeseburger. And she goes, "How do you want your cow cooked?" And I kind of like awkwardly look at my friend because I was like, I feel really embarrassed. Do I point out that it's not cow? Like, hamburger is a pig. Everyone knows ham comes from pig. So I joked back. I was like, "Well, I want my pig cooked well done." You're not supposed to eat pork like uncooked. Everybody knows that. That's why it's always been super weird to me that people will get like red in the middle on their burgers. And so she looks back at me and she goes, "You mean your cow?" And I'm like, I don't know how to have this conversation right now. Like, I'm not a teacher. I don't know how to educate you kindly. And I was like, "Sure, my cow." But it was so bizarre. I'm like, how do you not know? It's literally in the name. It's a hamburger.
Okay. Now, she's not playing. She believes this. And what is so worrisome to me is that she believes this and really felt there was this self-important air about her that she felt she should educate the waitress. Now, what's wrong with this picture? Why is this an issue? Well, because this young woman speaks often on politics. And I'm feeling uncomfortable because I'm thinking, if you have this self-important air and this very concrete manner of thought that if something named the HAMburger indicates it is a burger made of ham, and you really haven't picked up on like the cultural suggestions about hamburgers and what they're made of, I find that really troublesome that she would believe that she would understand the subtleties in, let's say, macroeconomics. It's worrisome. But everybody, look, there's crap I don't know about. I don't know how to build a skyscraper. I don't know how to use wood to build a structure, a house. There's plenty of things that I would absolutely need to go and say, "Hey, I need your help. Can you teach me?" Martin and AK went through all of this incredible work where they took the data from the computers on the truck and mapped it up with the maps. And I'm sitting there watching this and I'm thinking, this is so impressive, so grateful to these guys. They did something that I never would have been able to do. And it opened up a level of comprehension about the crimes of Barry Morphew that we never otherwise would have had. And I promise you, there are police officers looking at their data right now going, "Oh God, why didn't we know to do this?" Correct? So when you see somebody like this, who has a very, very basic knowledge level, concrete thinking, but they carry with them arrogance of superiority, that it is their job to educate other people, to teach them, you must be careful. You've got to be careful from whom you are getting your information from. You've got to know, how do we know that what they're telling us is correct? How do we know that what they're telling us is the truth? So I thought, in honor of this young woman, I'll play this again while I get my other document pulled up. But I thought in honor of this young woman, we would kind of go back and talk about, the history of the hamburger and explain why it is that a hamburger is absolutely not in any way a burger made of ham at all. Nothing, zilcho, no ham in the hamburger. Where's the beef? Where's the beef come from, people? In big old cows, right? Okay.
There's no hope for the world.
You hear the arrogance. There's no hope for the world. If you're so stupid and small-minded that you just can't read the name, burgers made of ham, then there's no hope for you. I'm just so sorry for you. And I'm thinking, you're feeling sorry for a waitress, and yet you just put out a clip on social media that is getting thousands of views, and you look ridiculous. Only not because you didn't know. That's not what makes you look ridiculous. What makes you look ridiculous is the air of superiority that you are so confident that you are right. That is what makes people look ridiculous. When people have delusions of grandeur, when they believe somehow something about them is better than the people that they're addressing or the people they're judging, that is when you look silly and ridiculous. You have no idea about the people you are judging. It's best to stay in your own lane, tend to your own business, use all your superior intellect and worldly knowledge to develop a really great channel. Why do you have to look at other channels and talk down on them like, oh my God, how stupid do you have to be? Burgers are made of ham. So from this day forward, the virtue signalers, because that's like a long and kind of clumsy name, right? No. From this day forward, we're not going to call them the virtue signalers. We're going to call them the HAMburgers. All right? The HAMburgers. Those are the YouTubers that are running around to other YouTube channels saying, no, you can't talk about that. You can't make videos about that. How stupid can you be? How immoral and unethical are you? You must be like us. Be very careful lest you make a burger of ham. Now then, the history of the hamburger is most often talked about, obviously, being from Germany. And now some of you have gone, Germany? What? Yes, Germany. That Hamburg, Germany, is the home of the first hamburger. Now, the definition of a hamburger is actually a burger made of beef and bread. That's the actual definition. But when you look, and again, most people do accept that Germany is the actual origin of the hamburger. It came out of Hamburg, Germany, and it was a modification of a German dish where they would take minced beef, and in a lot of ways it was like tartare, but they would add extra things to tartare like onions and such to make it yummy, right? And so I'm going to go through this history of the hamburger starting back in the 1st century. That's right. When Jesus died, oh my God, it was bedlam. It was chaos. They took cows and cut up beautiful steaks, these beautiful ribeye sirloin steaks, and just chopped them into little minced pieces of meat, added a little bit of pine nuts and pepper and, of course, wine, because after all, Jesus is dead. the sinful have run amok. Of course, you can't have anything without alcohol. And so they took that beautiful ribeye steak, chopped it into nothing, and added some alcohol. And there you go. The demons rule the earth. That happened until the 13th century. And surprisingly, in the 13th century, we find out that the Mongolian horsemen are actually eating hamburgers. That's right. Genghis Khan was eating hamburgers. The emperor and his troops are credited with being the very first to form out scraps of meat into actual patties, making for a convenient food that they could tuck underneath their saddles to take on their long journeys as they were looking to rape and maim and pillage. I'm telling you, people, these hamburgers, these burgers of ham, they have been at the heart of devil's play since the minute that Jesus died. Kublai Khan invaded Moscow during the 13th century, and he brought with him meat patties, and they gave them to the Russian chefs. That's right. Russian royalty looked at this bit of just maimed and mashed meat and said, oh my gosh, our emperors, our royalty can never eat such a mess of food. And so they added egg and onions. They made it so flavorful and beautiful. And that was the beginning of steak tartare. Now, in the 17th century, ships that were leaving Hamburg, Germany, arriving in Russia, bringing with them the meat concoction that was really done for simplicity. The Russians took it and turned it into one of the finest dishes that the world has known, and that is steak tartare. In 1802, there is an actual cultural shift that says we are going to recognize this important steak, like steak salad. You know how we make tuna salad and we take tuna, we add all the yummies to it to make it delicious? Well, Oxford English Dictionary describes Hamburg steak for the very first time, 1802. Oxford English Dictionary describes the Hamburg steak as, or defines the Hamburg steak as a hard slab of salted minced beef, often smoked with onions and bread crumbs. Now, I don't know about you, but that sounds like the beginnings of a beautiful meat loaf in my house. Serve it up with some real mashed potatoes, some fresh green beans, and some Nana pudding for dessert. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Germany. Thank you, Genghis Khan. And thank you, food demons of this earth coming out of Rome in the 1st century AD. Now, in the late 1800s, of course, the Europeans were making their way to the New World, right? And so we had food stalls, restaurants that were being changed by the immigrants that were coming into New York City. All of these immigrants, with their special blend of Hamburg steak tartare, they went into different restaurants and made their own versions of the Hamburg steak. And finally, in 1885, there was a story that emerged about HAMburgers' name derives not from Germany, but from New York State. This is not exactly true. I think this was more of a marketing type of addition to the history of the hamburger. There's no question that the hamburger itself, the originations came from Hamburg, Germany, But as I've talked about, it's actually been around since the first AD because it was a way for the travelers to have nutritious food that was easy to eat while they were riding on the backs of horses or they were sailing the seven seas in their tiny little wooden boats. So in 1885, there was a story that two brothers in New York City, Charles and Frank Menchie's, well, they were selling these sandwiches that were made of sausage. And so they ran out of sausage. They had beef. They ran out of sausage. And so they're at the state fair in Hamburg, New York. And I don't believe this. I think someone took cultural liberty with this, but I got to include it in the history of the hamburger. And they took sausage and they swapped out the ground beef that they had been using and mixed it with coffee and brown sugar to add flavor. And this concoction of ground beef, a little bit of coffee, and some brown sugar turned into a sandwich. They called the sandwich the HAMburger because supposedly this little, culinary experiment happened in Hamburg, New York. In 1891, the Seymour Fair in Wisconsin actually featured Hamburger Charlie Nagreen. Well, Mr. Hamburger Charlie Nagreen was not having very much luck selling his meatballs. Now, can I remind you about the cultural period of time in the 1890s? Women were wearing evening gowns everywhere they went. Okay, well, maybe they didn't call them evening gowns, but they were wearing a lot of big dresses with very fine, very expensive fabrics from the Far East. Not the kind of thing you want to drip a little bit of grease on, correct? So can you imagine a scenario where a woman in one of her big, beautiful Gibson girl dresses walks up to Nagreen and says, "I'll have a meatball, please"? No, this was a period of time in the United States of America as well as Europe where clothing was essential. Your clothing defined your station in life. And so people would invest great percentages of their wealth into their clothing, very much like today, people invest a large percentage of their income to their housing. A lot of people have gotten to a lot of really bad situations trying to buy the big McMansion, and really, they're using 50-60% of their income to pay the mortgage. But back in 1891, the investment was really going into clothing in terms of a cultural statement, a demographic statement to say, I have arrived. And so, of course, your meatballs are not going to sell Charlie Nagreen. But you know what Charlie did? Instead of feeling all dejected and feeling like he was a loser, no. He put his little frontal lobe in order and he developed a plan. And he took one of those meatballs and smashed it down flat, threw 2 pieces of bread on each side of it, and called it the hamburger. The story has become a part of Wisconsin state lore, claiming that Seymour is the home to the Hamburger Hall of Fame, not to be confused with the International Hamburger Hall of Fame in Daytona, Florida, which is just crazy because we all know the Hamburger Hall of Fame should be in Hamburg, Germany, where it all began. So in 2007, the Wisconsin legislature declared Seymour, Wisconsin, the home of the hamburger. But I think they got it wrong. I really do. But in 1900, Oklahoma, not to be outdone, Oscar Weber Bilby said that he was the first person to make a true hamburger, a modern hamburger by today's standards. That's right. Mr. Oscar Bilby took a piece of meat and put it in between two buns. According to independent researchers, as well as his own descendants, they suggest that Oscar invented the hamburger on July the 4th, 1891. He served it with root beer, and this became an annual tradition in Tulsa, Oklahoma. In 1995, Oklahoma Governor Frank Keating named Tulsa the real birthplace of the hamburger. So I don't know, Oklahoma, but Oklahoma and Wisconsin, they're fighting over who is the birthplace of the hamburger. But actually, it's Hamburg, Germany. When the Hamburg steak gave that transition from ribeye to minced meat became a thing. Now, in 1904, another story emerged. It was created at Lewis's Lunch in New Haven, Connecticut. Now, can I just ask you guys something sincerely? New Haven, Connecticut is somehow connected to some of the most frightening, heinous, occult events in our country. It is very curious to me why New Haven, Connecticut seems to always bubble to the top in these cultural conversations. I mean, in all truth, doesn't really seem to be a very significant place, right? And yet, how many times have we heard New Haven, Connecticut associated with something heinous? So, in 1900, there was a man who hurriedly ran into Lewis's Lunch, which is a restaurant, ran into Lewis's Lunch and told the proprietor, Lewis Layson, he was in a rush. He needed something fast, something he could eat while he was on the run. And without hesitation, Lewis grabbed his ground steak trimmings, smashed them all together, and put them in between two pieces of toast. He gave the sandwich to the young man and said, the most recognizable American sandwich was born. So now we got Connecticut, who has jumped in on the fight of the hamburger. In 1921, Fletcher Davis created an early version of the hamburger for his menu in a very small cafe in Athens, Texas. In the 1880s, it didn't debut his invention to a wider audience until it took his burger to the 1904 St. Louis World's Fair. And to this day, some people say Athens, Texas is the birthplace of the hamburger. And let me tell you all about Athens, Texas. It is a teeny tiny little town. Don't blink when you drive through or you'll miss it. But they now claim to be the birthplace of the hamburger. So we've got Connecticut, Texas, Wisconsin, and Oklahoma all fighting to be the birthplace of the hamburger. Finally, of course, Kansas. We ain't in Kansas anymore, Dorothy, but we got two men merged quickly cooked burgers in a themed restaurant that they called White Castle. And the rest is history. White Castle claims that they are the birthplace for the first fast food chain dedicated to the hamburger. 1948, the Right Spot Diner, where? Pasadena, California. They claim they are the first to add cheese to a burger. Again, you're wrong about that. That's going on in Russia and Germany way back in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 12th, 13th centuries. But of course, Americans, you know us. And finally, 1954. What significant event, something that would change the culture of America in more ways than one. What happened in 1954? It changed the look of our towns. It changed the look of our burgers. and it changed the look of the American youth. That's right. The McDonald brothers pivot from selling barbecue to selling burgers. In San Bernardino, California, a burger shack was put up that would eventually grow into the world's largest fast food chain, McDonald's. Second largest food chain, Burger King, started in Miami, 1955. That was quick, wasn't it? 1954 is McDonald's in California. The other side of the United States, we get Burger King the very next year. In 1957, Ray Kroc, a failing milkshake salesman from Des Plaines, Illinois. How can anyone fail selling milkshakes? Well, Ray convinces McDonald's, the McDonald brothers, to let him join in as a partner. Eventually, he bought them out. That's right. Ray Kroc, failing milkshake salesman, becomes king of the hamburger in 1961. It was Ray Kroc that took McDonald's and turned it into a family name. 1969, Burger King introduces the Whopper, a full decade before McDonald's launches the Big Mac. So this time they beat McDonald's. In 1986, Wendy's, where's the beef, starts in Columbus, Ohio. The restaurant was created by former Kentucky Fried Chicken head chef Dave Thomas, and he introduced a full-size square patty burger made from fresh beef so that parts of the hamburger would be hanging out of the bun, making it look like it was a small bun and all burger. In 2001, Five Guys opened in Arlington, Virginia. This one ushered in what Mott's calls the better burger category, featuring burgers and other menu items made with fresh, more responsibly sourced ingredients. And incidentally, Five Guys has turned into a very common meal for people looking for real meat, not McDonald's meat. 2004, famed French chef and New York restaurateur Daniel Boulud asked by New York Times reporter to comment on a report about French farmers protesting the arrival of a McDonald's in their town, creates a burger of his own. Boulud fills his high-grade sirloin patty with red wine, braised short rib, and foie gras, and serves the thick burger topped with Parmesan, pepper, and tomato confit on a brioche-like potato bun. Who's going with me? The dish makes it to the menu at the DB Bistro Moderne, originally for $29. However, when me and you go, that's right, to get us a Boulud menu, order in our Boulud hamburger, it will be $40 without fries. Restaurateur Denny Meyer in 2013 opens the Shake Shack in Madison Park, New York City, and uber long lines form for the smashed fresh beef patties, crinkle cut fries, and milkshakes. Shake Shack expands rapidly before becoming a publicly traded company in 2015 and boasting more than 275 locations worldwide. 2017, a smorgasbord in Brooklyn. Chef Kaizo Shimamoto debuts his ramen burger, a ground beef burger sandwiched between two crispy ramen buns, seared in a sesame oil and topped with arugula and scallions. Oh my goodness. It becomes an instant smash. In 2021, food giant Cisco begins distributing Beyond Burger, the meat substitute, engineered to mimic beef's flavor and texture using plant-based ingredients, and it starts to appear on restaurant menus nationwide. Beyond Burger's competition, Impossible, grows in popularity as well, leading to the introduction of the Impossible Whopper at Burger King in 2019. Please be careful not to eat insects. A diner in the Netherlands unveils the Golden Boy. That's right, the world's most expensive burger, coming from the place that started marijuana bars. So you can go and get all, messed up, drunked up on your favorite bud. And then you can go to Golden Boy and buy you a yummy, delicious $6,000 burger. That is right. This burger is made of ingredients such as Japanese Wagyu beef, Alaskan king crab, white truffles picked daily, smoked duck egg mayo, barbecue sauce, Macallan scotch, beluga caviar, and yes, gold. I'm not kidding. Gold leaf. All sandwiched between two Dom Perignon champagne infused buns. Okay. Do you remember way back at the beginning of this little historical morsel, we talked about how in the 1st century to the 13th century, people were taking gorgeous grass-fed ribeye steaks and chopping them up into nasty little clumps of meat with pine nuts and pepper to feed the troops of Genghis Khan, the murdering Mongolian horsemen. And I said it looked to me to be the act of the Antichrist. To take such a gorgeous gift from God, a true ribeye steak, and just turn it into a mushed up mound of ickety ick to give to people that are going to go raping and pillaging. It's an act of the Antichrist. I prove my point. The history of the hamburger has gone through so many different changes and additions and subtractions that we now arrive in 2024, the ultimate mark of the Antichrist, and that would be the love of money. That you may now openly, without shame or embarrassment, put your devil ears on, wear your red leather, and walk into the Golden Boy. Walk up to the counter and lay your $6,000 and say, I will have the Golden Burger with extra gold, please.
So the other day I went to a steakhouse for a friend's birthday and she ordered a steak and the waitress goes, "How do you want your cow cooked?" And I'm like, that's a weird way to order it, but whatever. So she asked my friend, "How do you want your cow cooked?" My friend says, "I want it medium rare," or something like that. And so then I wasn't in the mood for a steak. I wanted a hamburger. I'd been craving a hamburger. So I order, the cheeseburger. And she goes, "How do you want your cow cooked?" And I kind of awkwardly look at my friend because I was like, I feel really embarrassed. Do I point out that it's not cow? Hamburger is a pig. Everyone knows ham comes from pig. So I joked back. I was like, well, I want my pig cooked, well done. You're not supposed to eat pork like uncooked. Everybody knows that. That's why it's always been super weird to me that people will get like red in the middle on their burgers. And so she looks back at me and she goes, "You mean your cow?" And I'm like, I don't know how to have this conversation right now. Like, I'm not a teacher. I don't know how to educate you kindly. And I was like, sure, my cow. But it was so bizarre. I'm like, how do you not know? It's literally in the name. It's a hamburger. There's no hope for the world.
Who is going to take political advice from this young woman? She's lovely. She's sweet, but she clearly doesn't know as much about hamburgers as we do. And nowhere in the history of the world did anyone claim that a hamburger is made of pork. All right. So that is the end. I cannot believe Martin stuck through this whole thing. I knew you were going to say that. All this talk about food has made me hungry. What do you think of the Golden Burger, Martin? Would you make that trip to try that burger? I mean, the Alaskan crab, that sort of hooked me. I have a hard time turning down crustaceans. I love shrimp and lobster. I love crab. Yeah, I'm a seafood girl. Absolutely. Yes, she's for real, Renee. That is a real woman. I follow her on TikTok, and I just couldn't believe when there was a lot. I mean, look, there's a lot of us that don't know things. There's not anything wrong with not knowing, right? It's fine. What was so hard though for me was the self-important belief that she was the smart one and they were not. It was pretty, pretty funny. So, and she often comments on politics, like who to vote for. She gets really, she thinks people are really horrible if they don't, vote for a certain candidate. Seafood is so good. Yeah, that's my favorite, Renee, for sure. All right. What did y'all think of this? Was this fun? It's not true crime, is it? Okay. I know I'm probably going to lose some subscribers. I hope I don't, but a lot of people get really passionate about this. It's not true crime. I know. I'm sorry. Sometimes we do need a break, right? I had a new subscriber the other day who said that this was really the first time she's ever really watched true crime on social media. And she was like, it is a circus. And I was just thinking, honey, you have no idea. I mean, it can get really crazy on the streets of YouTube related to true crime. So I'm in a really good mood today. The sun is really, really beautiful. I mean, it is shining. Sky's so clear and pretty. And I just was like, I don't want to talk about anything dark and, sad and infuriating. I just want to talk. So it was food crime. Thank you, Melmac. We've invented the first food crime channel. Yes. Well, there's the crime and fashion channel, right? We could be the food true crime channel to talk about culinary crimes, food felonies. I can tell you a few food felonies. McDonald's. Can we start with McDonald's? I don't know how anyone can put a chicken McNugget in your mouth. Do you know where that comes from? Do you even know what it's made of? Scares me to death. It is Sunday. Let's be happy. There you go. Absolutely. To be sure, she knows it's ground beef unless she has never cooked. No, I don't think so. And can we be honest? Does she look like she might cook? I don't think so. I think she's probably one of those young people that, they order Uber Eats, right? I kind of think that I think she means it. Like, I really think she believes what she's saying. So it's kind of, oops, sorry about that. So I think the takeaway, is, so this was a lady, Dr. Deborah Fauché. She commented and she said, "Oh my God, there is no hope for the world." Another comment was, "This is where I leave my dread for humanity's future." And I want to be clear. I don't think that this lady, this young woman, is dumb, right? Ignorant. Thank you, Melmac. No, she's not dumb. She's uninformed. She's one of that generation that came into the world being celebrated simply for being alive. She's one of that generation that received participation trophies. This generation, all they have to do is just show up, and they're given the illusion of accomplishment. But it's fake. It's not real accomplishment, right? And so this was a conversation that a lot of psychologists and doctors were having, I guess 20 years ago, because we knew that this participation trophy and whatnot, that this was all giving colors for grades rather than actual reflecting, well, this is the percentage you got right and this is the percentage you got wrong. We can't do that anymore. It hurts your feelings, right? It was a point of conversation at professional at professional conventions and whatnot. This conversation of what is this going to do to people, to these kids, that we're saying just show up and we're going to give you, everyone gets a trophy. There is no competition. You don't get to talk about who wins or loses. What will happen to this generation? Will we still have people who actually excel in accomplishment and skills, or will it all normalize to this mediocrity, this acceptance of mediocrity, which will then destroy our country, right? And so there was a lot of conversation about what will happen to these kids, and we are now seeing it. This young woman has a belief that hamburgers are burgers made of ham. And she speaks with authority and even built herself up as smarter than the waitress. And that she is entitled, the level of entitlement, as she talks about, I don't know how to educate her in a nice way. And I'm thinking, okay, we need to rewind about 25 years and let's go back to a rational way of raising our children. Because this is it. This is what we're seeing. When kids get a job now and you tell them they have to be there at 7:30 or 8 or whatever time, and they ask if they can come in a little bit later because they always have their protein shake before work and it takes a little while to build it. No, your work time is 8. If you need to wake up at 3 a.m. to build your milkshake, then do it, but you're going to be at work on time. Oh, I have such a mean boss. Such a mean boss. Yeah. So we're in trouble. That's what this whole thing is about. We are in trouble. We're in trouble that there is this group of people who have an incredible level of entitlement. They're misinformed or uninformed. They don't know. They never developed the skill of digging in and working hard to advance their station in life. They just think it should naturally be given to them. And they don't know that they're wrong. They don't know that their belief system is not enough to be able to make it in the world. And that was really the point of this video. Not hamburgers, right? We don't care. I don't care much about hamburgers. Although I have to, I'm pretty intrigued by the Golden Burger in I don't know where they said it was in the Netherlands. But I'm almost thinking I want to tell Bill that I want to go over to Amsterdam and go see the Golden Burger. Not to buy one, mind you, but I'd just like to go see one in the flesh because it's kind of intriguing, right? I'm working with a few of this generation. I'm stunned. I grew up so differently. Yeah, exactly, Jackie. And look, I know a lot of people that get furious with these young people. They are firing people left and right. Like, just, what's wrong with you? It's not any of my concern that you broke up with your girlfriend. I got a business to run. I need you here on time. I don't care. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me that it's your birthday. Right. And these kids are hurt. Like, these young adults are deeply, deeply hurt. They really believe that the boss is being mean and uncaring. Well, no, that you've got to think about the environment, the context. You're hired to do a job. It's not your boss's job to become your mommy and your daddy. You're the one that signed a contract. You'll do this work in exchange for this money. And you agreed to those terms, and you have to stick to those terms. It doesn't matter if your boyfriend broke up with you. It doesn't matter if you're on a diet. It doesn't matter if you got drunk last night. None of that matters. You have to fulfill your contract. And they don't experience that the way that you and I do. So we're at a real deficit on the world stage. Our culture is in a lot of trouble. We're in trouble because we can't compete with other cultures where the parents are teaching their kids, quit whining, quit complaining, and go do your job and do it the best to your ability. Our parents don't say that anymore to their kids. And our children are growing up in a way that they feel like they're going to be kids forever and that their bosses are like surrogate parents. It's crazy. I don't know about you guys, Jackie, but the people I know that are employing young people, they're firing them all the time. They fire them, try somebody new. Fire them, try somebody new. Fire them, try somebody new. So we're in trouble for service. We're in trouble for accomplishment. You can't go to medical school if you think that your boyfriend breaking up with you is a reason to take the day off. That's not going to get it. So we're not going to be putting out professionals, people with a specialized level of knowledge that the rest of the culture benefits from. We're not going to have that. We're going to lose that. The sense of entitlement means that people become more rude, more aggressive because they believe that they're right. And then the third level is this delusion of grandeur that they are very special and they know more than others. And here's the kicker, that it is their job to educate everyone else on what the right answer is. But they're the ones that are uninformed and don't know what the hell they're talking about and have no accomplishment. And when you look at the HAMburgers, the virtue signalers, when you look at what they're doing, the group that's doing this are targeting channels where channels are really working hard to put out a great product, right? They're doing these shows that are long and they have a lot of different clips and a lot of different, points of what they're talking about. But all the virtue signalers do is they just sit around like a mean girl group and say, oh, well, I just hate that YouTuber. I just hate that Jules of Thought. I just hate that old allegedly innocent. She shouldn't be talking like that. She's talking so ugly about victims. We know who the victims are. Let us tell her who the victims are. She's obviously stupid and doesn't know what a victim is. And that's what you guys sound like. Stop. Use your brain to build something you can be proud of. Use your brain to make a video about a topic that's informative, that teaches other people things. Don't use your time on panel to just attack other people. That's so easy to do. It's the mind, it's the mark of a weak mind. If all you're doing in your YouTube channel time is just sitting there talking ugly about other creators, that is the mark of a weak mind. Have a point. Plan what you're going to talk about. Show supporting evidence, whatever. I mean, I don't know. It's not my job to tell you. But my point of what I'm trying to say is we're hurting the true crime community as a whole by attacking one another. I know I consume more true crime on YouTube than I create. I'm definitely a subscriber. I got a channel. I mean, we talk and stuff, but I in terms of minutes viewed and hours viewed, I'm one of the subscribers. That's the majority of my time is as a subscriber. I don't want to go listen to you build yourself up and talk about how ethical and moral and great you are and how shitty Jules of Thought is. I don't care about listening to that. It's boring and small-minded. I want to see where you've, figured out some information, or you've used your deductive reasoning skills and brought two pieces of information together that might just fit. Do something interesting. Now, you could say I'm doing what you do and hating on channels, but what I haven't done is I haven't named anybody other than myself that named anybody. I haven't called any of you fat or ugly or weak or small or any bad, anything negative. I'm just putting my name out there. I'm just putting my ideas out here that if we want a true crime community that people like and enjoy and want to return to, that responsibility is on the shoulders of every single true crime creator. And the majority of us subscribers do not want to go to a channel and listen to your 550th video talking about how much you hate Jules of Thought. It's boring. All right, I'm done. Ooh, I'm going to get in trouble on this one, but that'd be all right. We'll be okay. All right. It'll be temporary. Isn't that right? Good mental health. This is temporary. This too shall pass. Mel Mack says, the golden burger, many connotations could be read into golden. You know what I thought about? I'll tell you what I thought about. Remember when I ended the little lesson? Remember when I tied it back together to the first century, the death of Christ, the rise of the Antichrist? Yes. What are they worshiping in the Netherlands? The golden calf. The new hamburger, the golden burger. It's the modern contemporary golden calf. Put a 1 if you loved this video. I'll wait. Or better yet, hit the subscribe button if you never have. I need some subscribers, please, because I'm going to lose some after this. I hope I don't, because I love each and every one of you. Please don't. Please, please, please don't unsubscribe. Your channel is far more interesting and intelligent than most. You're a sweetheart. Thank you so much. I'm going to be sure to watch AK and Martin later this afternoon. Hope to see you all there. Skitty Nona, what time are our friends going to be live? I just love AK and Martin. I got to tell you, they are such great people. I just love them. They do the hard work, the brain work. They do the brain work. Well, AK does the physical hard work as well, but they do the hard work, and then they give it to us to try to make sense of it, right? It's they serve such a critical role in this true crime community. Even though we don't get a lot of videos from them, when they do make a video, it is information rich. Like, share, subscribe, and tap the notification bell. Thank you, Mel Mack. You're a sweetheart. Appreciate you. So that's all. We only had a few people that liked the video. That makes me sad. That makes me so sad. Okay, I have one more thing, and then we're going to end this live on this note. Where did it go? Oh, me, oh, my. It looks like I do not want to talk about Tony Mathis. but I must. Why do I have to talk about Tony Mathis? Y'all know the guy. Tony Mathis is the guy I believe is single-handedly trying to destroy people's interest in the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers. I believe that Seth Rogers has been misled. I think that he has been tricked into believing that Tony Mathis is a good guy and that he's there to help him. I think that I'm going to be making a video that will show the facts and the truth about why I think that he is not there as Seth's friend. And the best thing Seth could do for himself was drop Tony Mathis like a hot potato, fast and swift. And I said yesterday in my driving live, I said, isn't Tony Mathis the name of an old singer? I was wrong. And when I'm wrong, I tell y'all, I own it. I was wrong. It is Johnny Mathis. And oh my goodness, what a great singer he was. Talking about. So y'all are saying that AK is going to be on Jules. Which Jules channel? I'm looking for the link. Hold on. Is it Another Day in the Car? Is that the one that they're going to be on? Because they're good friends with Jules from Another Day in the Car. Let's see if that's where they're going to be. And I love Jules. I actually met Jules in real life. I met her when I went to Salida for the Barry Morphew hearing. Oh, yeah. Yes, I found it. I'm incoming with a link. Y'all stay with me. Hold on. Got the link right here. Just a second. Copy. Y'all hang on with me. White knuckle it. White knuckle it. Paste. Boom. There you go. It's right there. Her channel name is Another Day in the Car, and she goes by Jules with a Z. Okay. Let me see. Here we go. Chances are, 'cause I wear a silly grin. You coming to view. Hold on. Just a minute. I'm looking. Where is it? Was this it? Is this what I'm looking for? I thought it had Iris Eaton. Oh, no, here it is right here. Okay, I got another video to play. This is one of my videos. It's an oldie but a goodie. And I think I'm going to go ahead and play it in honor of the live that Another Day in the Car, Jules from Another Day in the Car is doing with telematics with our friend Martin Smallwood. And AK rocks. How about this one? This is an oldie but a goodie. It's one of my favorite ones I ever did.
Where is the moment we needed the most?
This is my creation when they found Suzanne Morthew.
You kick up the leaves and the magic is lost. They tell me your blue skies fade to gray. They tell me your passion's gone away. And I don't need no carrying on. 'Cause you had a bad day. You think you run down. You say you
Lord,
want
it runs
some,
through
just
one day
to
be safe
You
again.
say you don't know. You tell me don't lie. You work on a smile and you go for the ride. You had a bad
Barry.
Oh, you had a bad day.
And they're going to get you this time, Barry. All right. That's my favorite one. It is heartwarming. Oh, oh, that's Suzanne's sister. Oh, Iris, hush. Hush, hush, lady. You got bigger problems than Martin and AK is all I know. Okay. All right. You guys have such a great have you played with AI songwriting? I have not, Critter Watcher. I don't even know. Thank you, Martin. Where would I find AI songwriting? I wrote a song the other day and posted it as a response to someone's comment they made. I don't even remember what it was. Let me think a minute. I have to look back through my comments and see if I can find it. I'll email you once I find the link. That'd be awesome, Critter Watcher. I would love that. I wish I could find I wish I could find my comment I wrote. Where would I find that? Surely there's got to be someplace that's got, I don't ever go and look back at my old comments. You know what I mean? Let me see if I can figure out where I wrote that. Do y'all know where? Do y'all know where all of my comments might be that I might type in someone else's video? Gotta be a way to look that up, right? YouTube Studio. Maybe, oh, comment. No, that's comments other people say to me. I don't know. I will look and see if I can find it. Look in history, but where is the history? Where is the history on a YouTube page? Let me look. Y'all see how uninvolved I am with my, okay, here's history. There's a lot of, comments? Could it be comments? I do not like Tony Mathis at all. I think, thank you. I think I found it. Let's see if I can find my little song I wrote. Let's see. It just shows you how bored I was that I chose to sing a song instead of answer a question. Should be sung to the tune of, where is it? Well, shoot. That didn't help me find it. I wonder why. I'll have to go through here. Hope you and yours were safe during the storm. It was a comment about Idaho 4. Where, let's see. Is there a search feature here? Something about Idaho 4. That was 17 hours ago. So it wasn't yesterday because I was gone all day. Maybe this was it right here. Weird that it's not showing. Because I remember maybe maybe I commented to Zelda. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Come talk to you again. Now it's going to drive me crazy that I can't find it. And here's comments on Peace Dog. Maybe it doesn't, yeah, I can't find it. Crap. Other activity, maybe it's web, YouTube history, location. I think it wasn't a response that I did. I responded to someone else. And maybe that's why it's not showing up. I hear the accent. Oh, I think this might be it. Well, I'm going to give up. If it's not on this one, I'm going to give up. Nope, it's not. Okay. I'll look for it. I should just make a video with my little song because it was kind of cute. So my granddaughter, her name is Isla. And so I joke around with her. I say her name is Isla Delilah, right? Just that's not really her name, but that's what I say it is. And I made a song to that Barry Manilow song. Her name is Isla Delilah. And then, I'll go on to finish it. But anyway, I have a way of sort of doing that just because I have a bored brain. So the picture of the hamburger looks good. I thought it looked like a very tasty burger, right? It does look, I kind of like the ones. Yes, Mountain Time, Melmac. Yes. This administration would be shocked at the starvation. Even a hamburger sounds good. Yeah. Thank you, Jen. Yeah, she's a beautiful girl. Love my baby. So I'll see if I can find it and make a quick little video with it. But we are talking about Martin Smallwood. Let me go back up. We're doing paste. They are doing a live today at this video. I'm sorry, this channel link I just posted. This is Jules, Another Day in the Car. And so if you want to just like look for the channel, you can, if you can't click on the link, just type in Another Day in the Car and then JULEZ. and it'll take you right there. And they'll be going live. Let's see exactly. Where is it? Come on. They will be live this afternoon at 3 o'clock Texas time. But if you are Mountain Central, 2 o'clock. If you are Eastern, at 4 o'clock. And if you're in California, then it'll be at 1 o'clock. Or you could just click the link or search the word Another Day in the Car, Jules, Julez, and it'll take you right there. Click the live button, and you'll see that ugly mug of Barry Morphew, and you just hit notify me, and then you'll see with your own time what time it's going to be. For me, it's going to be at 3 o'clock. But if you're in Colorado, it'll be 2 o'clock. Or if you're in New Haven, Connecticut with Beelzebub, it'll be at 4 o'clock. All right, people. So I guess I better do something. I have been a lazy girl today because we went to a funeral yesterday. And did not get back in until, much later than we thought. And it was just not a good day at all. In fact, it was Alexander's no good, horrible, very bad day. And thank God it's over, never to be repeated again. And so today I'm having a mental health day. I'm not just talking the talk, I'm walking the walk, right? So today's one of the, Martin Smallwood says 2 p.m. Mountain. 9 p.m. Irish time from Ireland. And there's the link again if you're able to click it. Yeah, so I'm having a mental health day. I said, screw it. Got to take care of myself, right? And I'm probably gonna now wash my hair and do a full treatment, nourishing, moisturizing treatment on my hair as I watch, I don't know, some fun movie is probably what's gonna happen. And then I'll be all ready to watch Martin and AK and Jules be magnificent. It's what I live for, is to see people being magnificent. All right. And I'll find the song. And then on the right side of the page, choose comments. Okay. History and comments. See, I think it's not showing, like when I respond to someone else's comment, that's where it's not showing, and that's where it was at. It only shows where I am watching a video and then I post like a reply. But anybody that would post as a reply to a reply, that's what I'm not finding. Yeah. Yep. Okay. I'm going to search for it, Critter Watcher. I've got your stuff that you told me to do. I wrote it all down. So I'm going to go back and see if I can find it. Nana Flower Power, welcome. How are you? Good to see you. I am guarding those doors, Jen. I have got things on lockdown. I'm looking at the goals. I'm looking forward to the future, and I know what I know. You know what I mean? Not going to let my imagination run wild. Not going to go back to Not going to go back to historical bullshit. Just going to let those sleeping dogs lie. Know what I mean? Because none of it matters. Her name was Rico. She wore a diamond. All right. Well, I guess I don't have anything else to say. What about y'all? We got, what do we have? We got about an hour and a half before AK and Martin are on Jules's channel. So yeah. What do you guys think? Here's a question, and I guess I could put a link up here if anybody wants to come up and make a conversation. I'm going to have one question here. What do you guys think about this? Okay, so we know that Christopher Proudfoot is a crane operator, correct? And now we know that Tony Mathis, he sells cranes. So I know in the oil field, there are companies that buy their own large equipment, right? Just like Barry bought the Bobcat. There are people that operate dozers, cranes, backhoes, large machinery. They'll start their own business. They'll buy their own large machines, and then they contract out to different companies. What do we think about the possibility that Christopher Proudfoot owns his own cranes? He may own his own crane. Maybe he purchased it from Tony Mathis. Then how do we feel about this alliance with Seth? Because it's my opinion that since Tony Mathis came on board, the search for Sebastian has completely broken down. Very few people are paying attention to the search. There's not any videos being made, really, so to speak, other than the hardcore channels, It's really, really disturbing. Let's see. Women's gymnastics is today. Simone just finished floor routine. Congratulations, getting Nona. Wonderful. Hi, Funky Jasunky. Welcome. Hey, Keister Bunny. In construction, the trades know each other, even if there isn't direct business. That would be a bit of a coincidence. It would be one of those kinds of coincidences that's a little bit hard to overlook, right? Sort of like finding your dead wife shot full of BAM. It's sort of coincidental when you look at the arrest affidavit of it and see how Barry bragged about, his knowledge of BAM. And then, oopsie, your dead wife shows up and her bone marrow's full of it. It's hard to overlook those kinds of coincidences. Ain't that right, Barry? Hard to overlook. Yeah. Yeah, I hope that Chloe, I hope she will turn her private investigative eye skills. I hope she'll look and see about these connections between Tony and Christopher. They're there. I feel pretty certain of that. Feel really, really certain of that. It's just a matter of looking, right? It's a matter of looking. All right. You guys have such a good afternoon. I know Simone is going to be spectacular, Sketty Nona. I know she will. Have a chemo port. The thought of him utilizing her port. Well, I'm not sure he did, Kathy. That wouldn't be necessary with those darts. All he's got to do is just load the dart and just hit her with it. He wouldn't need to use the port. The pink leather glove is so interesting. It is incredibly interesting for a lot of reasons, right? And here's another issue. And I know that they say the HAMburgers. I know that they say you can't talk about certain people related to the crime and stuff, but let me just say this, okay? The two girls, they know if their mother had pink leather work gloves. Like, they know that in their heart. They don't have to admit it. They don't have to come out vocally and say, my mom did not have pink work gloves. They don't have to say it. The point of me saying this is, in their heart, in the quiet part of their mind, they've got to be looking at that pink leather glove, saying to themselves, that wasn't my mom's pink leather glove, so whose was it? They are. The BAM connection, now the brain is gonna start looking for confirmation that dad may have had something to do with it. I don't know. They named them work gloves. I just don't know, Mel. You think it might be a plant? Tell me about that. How would that help them? I mean, there's a maid up there that could probably be helpful in moving a body around, right? I mean, she's already gone on special missions for Barry to go retrieve that silly package off of the porch of a house that he doesn't own anymore. That was so weird. Thank you, Renee. I'm glad you're here. Hey, Black Rose, welcome. Good to see you. What was it? It was a bullet. They found a bullet. They found the pink glove, and it seems like there was one more thing that they found. Piece of fabric, maybe. May have belonged to Jeff Puckett. Well, so let me say this too. I can't shake that Morgan and Jeff Puckett went to Broomfield in a different way. They went down south first and then over to Colorado Springs and then up, right? Well, where does the location of Suzanne's body, where does that factor into their drive to Colorado Springs and then over? I mean, was that the role? Did Barry give them the body and then they carried it south? I don't think so. Let me say this. I think that what you and AK have come up with, I'm pretty convinced that 3 a.m. period, the time period, he went down there, disposed of her body, came back, and then made his flying trip to Broomfield and then slept all day because he was up all night working. That's what I think. But I can't make sense of the Colorado Springs trip. It can't be simple coincidence. It had to have had a purpose. Maybe Barry was maybe he was going to set them up. Maybe he told them to go that path. I don't know. It's very curious. Yeah, Funky. I think that Southern Colorado has got it's a pretty rough area. There's a lot of people that sell land down there, but be real careful. Be real careful about buying it because some of those areas down there are pretty scary. Oh, I'm glad you liked it, Renee. Good, good, good. So Martin Smallwood is in our channel. If you look up about 4 comments above your own, you'll see Martin Smallwood. He's my friend. He has got a brilliant, beautiful mind. He's brilliant. And then AK Rocks is a guy who has really been incredibly active looking for Suzanne Morphew's body. And he has been dedicated. Both of these people have been dedicated since, a week or so after she went missing. They were already on the case and they have just torn the evidence into bits. They're amazing. So if you want to know about Barry Morphew, his movements, what he did in the 40, maybe 50 hours before she went missing up to today, come to the live today. With the channel's name is Another Day in the Car, and that's my other friend Jules. She is having AK Rocks and Martin Smallwood on to talk about evidence that's going to see Mr. Morphew have to answer for what he did to his beautiful bride. So I hope you'll join us there, Renee. I think you'll learn an awful lot. They know their stuff. Didn't they say Barry told them to drive that way? They were confused. I think Puckett said he was confused, right? That he didn't know why they went that direction. But I don't know that Morgan ever weighed in and said that I don't know how it came to be that they went that path. Maybe Martin knows. Do you know, Martin? Like, did Barry ask her to go that way, or that was something she did on her own? Because early on, I always felt like that was a task. Did they pick something up for him? Did they drop something off for him? Was it just a red herring? Yeah, Tyson Draper knows a lot about the case. Yep, absolutely. Hadn't heard much from him lately. Like, what does he do now? We really need to find that out. You know what, Martin? Like, do y'all have a line of communication with Morgan? That would be that'd be really valuable, wouldn't it? That'd be very, very interesting to find out the story on why they went south. And of course, we'll never know because Mr. Puckett is dead now. It does seem that Barry Morphew has some pretty dangerous friends. You know what I mean? There's a lot of really bad crap surrounding Barry Morphew. It's pretty curious. And if you go back to the documents, Suzanne actually says in one of her texts that Barry Morphew, his finances, his business, that it's always just so shady and strange. Like she says that to her friend Sheila. So yeah, Barry's up to something, and it's hard for me to believe that a man with a little bobcat would be able to generate the kind of income to maintain 2 multi-million-dollar houses. One little bobcat doesn't earn that kind of income. You know what I mean? And he's got a little itty bitty bobcat. It's not like a big ferocious bobcat that would, strike people in awe. It's just a little tiny one. So I don't know where he gets that kind of money to maintain that type of housing. It's pretty strange. Maybe Barry is an asset. Oh, now that right there is a very interesting question. And it would also make you wonder what it is about Iris Eton that makes her so important to certain clients. Yeah. He is in Cave Creek, Arizona. Is that's where they buried him? Is that where he was from, Martin? Oh no, Tyson is in Cave Creek. That is that is a very smart thing, Justice Jane. And I'm with Tyson. Barry's days are numbered, and he's got to know that. Thank you, Black Rose. Barry's got to know he's in trouble. You know what I mean? Well, she's a character. Barry bought a trailer in Cave Creek. Wait a minute. Are you saying to me that Barry Morphew lives in a trailer in Cave Creek, Arizona? That is very interesting, isn't it? Considering the partial match, jerk. But remember, he was trying to get Suzanne to move to Arizona. Remember that? Holy hell. You talk about a fall from grace. I think I got to make up another chipmunk video. Don't you think? Don't you think we need a chipmunk part 2 that showcases Barry's change in living arrangements? That is a hoot. It is, Melmac. Poor Barry. Tons of performance. Horse trainers in Cave Creek. Ugh, makes me so mad because I'm a horsey person, right? Cave Creek. I gotta do some investigating there. Cave Creek. Let's see. Cave Creek, Arizona. Maybe I'll go and ride horses. Let's see. Cave Creek, Arizona Bike Week. And you say he's got a trailer? Really? I can't believe that. Arizona's most beautiful town. Visiting my sister's new store. Cave Creek Scenic 4K. That jackass. Everything you need to know before you move. Avoid Barry Morphew. Here's what he looks like. Don't live next door to him. Why would he want to live there? 3 missing hikers from Cave Creek, Arizona. Well, of course, if Barry's living there, there's going to be missing people. Worst places to live in Arizona. Creepy abandoned resort, high in Arizona mountains, Seneca Lake. Interesting. Very interesting. I know y'all are not interested in listening to this, but this is so crazy. Why? What in the hell is in Arizona that he would want? What kind of hunting do they do in Arizona? Martin, does he have does Barry have like some cousins or something that lives in Arizona? A 2-bedroom property in a trailer. Well, I don't know. Something about that, right? There's something satisfying about that. Rattlesnakes. Mule deer. Yes, Funky Jasunky. They definitely hunt mule deer. Yeah. Yeah. You're right. That is fascinating. Water theft in Arizona. Well, he's an outlaw, you know. So I think that is fascinating to consider. He's got $1 million house in Colorado and truly the most beautiful land I've ever seen. So he's got a multi-million dollar property in Colorado. He's got couple $1 million property in Indiana. He's dry, he always buys these big giant, very expensive trucks. And then he kills his wife, allegedly, and then finds himself in a trailer park in Arizona. Maybe he got a demotion, Moonlight. Does the mob like demote people? Does anybody know? Does the mob say you're demoted now? You're no longer get to be a business owner. Now you got to be an enforcer, break knees, or like, is that how the mob operates? Arizona is known for big game hunting, including mule deer, wild turkey, pronghorn, I can't tolerate the death of a bighorn sheep. I cannot tolerate that. The Arizona Game and Fish Department manages these hunts, which often take place on public lands. There's got to be a woman there. Why would this man, who's so used to being in the lap of luxury, why in the world would he live in a trailer house? That's crazy. Let's hope he has an Alice Kravitz for a neighbor. Let's hope, Moonlight. Let's hope. We all need to go. Listen, y'all. We all need to go to Arizona and start making friends, right? If like 50 of us went to Cave Creek and just started like making super good friends with all the women, like any woman we could find, make friends with her, right? And then tell them, oh, you should join us on YouTube. We just have so much fun. And then we would know everything. Oh, is Shoho there? Well, there you have it. That explains the trailer park. Thank you, Martin. It's all clear to me now. Per Google. Thank you, Justice Jane, for educating me. Maybe Barry decides he wants to be a homesteader. Maybe. He was talking about moving there like when Suzanne was alive. He wanted Suzanne to move there. She's a show-ho pony, Martin. She's a show-ho pony. Maybe the trailer is for the girl flings. Yeah, I don't think he needs a whole trailer for that. I think he just needs, a truck stop. I should quit, huh? That's not very nice. I shouldn't talk like that. My apologies. I can't tolerate the idea of killing a bighorn sheep because they're so majestic, right? And a moose, a bison, it just tears me up. I can't tolerate it. And I can't tolerate the thought of an asshole loser killing his wife lying to his daughters and saying, "Oh, your mommy ran away with a man to, where was it, Ecuador?" I can't deal with it. I there's something so base and gross about it. It's just, I mean, let me just say this. He could have just divorced Suzanne and gone and lived in a trailer house in Arizona and not killed anyone, right? How did he make his life better, allegedly? Barry Morphew now lives in Indiana and, as next of kin, received the results of his wife's autopsy report last week. He's planning a celebration of her life Saturday, May 4th. Yeah. No, I got all that, but he's got a trailer house in Arizona. He lives in a 2-bedroom, so a single wide trailer in Arizona. And he was wanting to move to Arizona. He was trying to get Suzanne to move to Arizona at the time that she died. Barry is in for a rude awakening. Welcome, Just Me. It's so good to see you. Funky Jasunki says, I can't say anything. I'm a hunter. Oh, I understand hunting. I'm from the sticks. I'm from the country. Everybody in my family, all the guys in my family hunt. I mean, I don't like venison myself, but I know how to cook it. I know, a lot of my family members, they eat venison every night, right? So I don't have a problem about hunting. I'm good. But I struggle so bad with the killing of these really majestic animals that you're not eating the food, right? Right? I mean, so I hate the idea of killing it just so that you can put the head on the wall. But I get it. I don't have negative appraisal of hunters or anything. I'm a country person. I'm glad that I know people know how to hunt so that when the dollar bill crashes, we'll still be able to eat, right? And we fish and everything. So Barry Morphew is distancing himself. Yeah, I'm sure he is. And I can't help but notice he's awfully close to the border, the Mexico border. But Barry, in case you haven't heard, this is not the Wild Wild West. And yes, there is an extradition treaty with Mexico. So Mexico is not going to help you, big guy. If I were you, I'd get on a plane right now and go ahead and head to Vietnam, because that's about the only place on the planet other than the Antarctic that you're going to be able to hide from the long arm of the law. It's not the cool thing to do these days. Divorce seems too easy. These clowns think they can get away with murder. It's pretty shocking. I imagine he's saving his dollar for eternity. Well, you're probably, Just Me, you probably hit the nail on the head, right? Probably Iris Eaton ended up with all of Suzanne's inheritance. That would be my bet. But Barry's not behind bars anymore. So he said, she said, in return, you're not behind bars. Just give me all of Suzanne's inheritance. And it was a deal that worked for him. As long as you only hunt animals, it's terrifying. How long was Barry in jail? I've kind of lost track of that. Was he in for like 8 months? Is that right, Martin? I think for about, it's been so long ago. I haven't, let me see. I think it was 8 months. How long was Barry Asshole Morphew in jail? He was not in prison. 5 months. Okay, so 5 months. Prosecution asked the judge to halt plans for the trial after the court threw out many of the prosecution witnesses as sanctions for not turning over all evidence to the defense at the time. Yep, 5 months. Barry can be in Vietnam with the Adelsons. Only a couple of the Adelsons, not the whole clan. Just a few token Adelsons. Daddy Adelson is still available, and Wendy Adelson. And I'm going to tell you something. Wendy Adelson not living in Vietnam is an act of defiance and nothing else. I can't believe that she and her father have not taken off and gone to Vietnam. Honestly, I can't. Yeah, wasn't long enough. Absolutely, Jen. Are they going to arrest him? Don't know, Tessie. Barry Morphew is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. At this time, May the 19th, 2024, he is not arrested. He is as free and innocent as I am or you are. My wife won't eat wild game, just me and my son. We don't know. Wait, she doesn't know cows or hamburgers. You got to go all the way back to the beginning of this video, Funky, because the whole video was about this chick on YouTube, on Twitter, who said, duh, hamburgers are from pigs, not cows. It's in the name. And so we did a whole history of the hamburger. These channel subscribers know more than they ever wanted to know about hamburgers. So I invite you to go back to the beginning of the video, Funky, and enjoy. Hey, Daisy Sunshine, my friend. How are you? I don't know if I still have that clip up of that girl. Let me look. We'll show it again just for Funky, because it is pretty funny actually. But she means this. This is not this little clip I'm going to show. She's not being facetious. It's not a joke. She literally really believes this. Her entitlement.
It's a weird way to order.
Her arrogance that she's so smart and she knows so much. Okay, let me show you. All right, y'all ready? It's real quick. It's only a couple of seconds, or a minute, I think. All right.
So the other day I went to a steakhouse for a friend's birthday and she ordered a steak and the waitress goes, "How do you want your cow cooked?" I'm like, it's a weird way to order it, but whatever. So she asked my friend, "How do you want your cow cooked?" My friend says, "I want it medium rare," or something like that. And so then I wasn't in the mood for a steak. I wanted a hamburger. I'd been craving a hamburger. So I order, the cheeseburger. And she goes, "How do you want your cow cooked?" And I kind of like awkwardly look at my friend because I was like, I feel really embarrassed. Do I point out that it's not cow? Like, hamburger is a pig. Everyone knows ham comes from pig. So I joked back. I was like, "Well, I want my pig cooked well done. You're not supposed to eat pork like uncooked. Everybody knows that. That's why it's always been super weird to me that people will get like red in the middle on their burgers." And so she looks back at me and she goes, "You mean your cow?" And I'm like, I don't know how to have this conversation right now. Like, I'm not a teacher. I don't know how to educate you kindly. And I was like, "Sure, my cow." But it was so bizarre. I'm like, how do you not know? It's literally in the name. It's a hamburger. There's no hope for the world.
That is a classic. And so then after we played that, let's see if I've still got my stuff up. I don't think I do. No, I don't. Let's see. I can get it real quick. Okay, so then we played See, Jasunki gets the whole breakdown of the video without having to go back and watch all of the video. I shouldn't do this. I should demand that he goes and watches the video so I get the views. So then we did the Big Burger House. And then we did the whole history of okay, sorry about that. No, you didn't lose sound. I got bumped off. I got bumped off. Now I'm back. And so then after we did the Where's the Beef commercials 83 and 84, then we did the whole history of the hamburger from 1 AD when Christ died and Beelzebub took over the planet and began destroying ribeye steaks. And it has to be an act of the devil to turn a ribeye steak into a pile of raw, mashed up meat. And now all the way to today, in 2024, you can go to the Netherlands and eat a hamburger $6,000 from the golden calf. That's right. We found out today, Jasunki, that hamburgers are actually the work of the devil. All right. And I brought receipts, damn it. I brought evidence. All right. Steak tartare was involved. That's right. To me, it is a crime to make fake meat. Jen, it is absolutely a culinary crime. It's a criminal crime to take insects and vegetables and try to trick me and tell me that it's a hamburger. That is, we have today, as we speak, a new channel has been born. We are now the culinary crime channel. We're just gonna cover all crimes related to food. All right. See, Funky Jasunki thinks he doesn't know that I'm telling the truth. I proved today in my video, Funky, that hamburger is the work of the devil. That's right. Where's the beef? Just me. That pic of that steer is terrifying. I can't imagine eating a cow when I think of how they kill them. Have you ever seen a longhorn, Tessie? They are enormous animals and they're so fun. There's a place not far from here that raises longhorns. I can go out there and get a picture. My mother brought home some meat, not realizing was bioengineered. Oh my God, Jen, don't eat it. For God's sake, don't eat it. I have drawn the line. There'll be no insects consumed in this house under no circumstances. We don't even eat chicken nuggets, okay? If we don't eat chicken nuggets, we damn sure are not going to be eating insects. No crickets, no roaches, no. Nicole Kidman can worship the devil and eat crunchy critters, but no, me and my husband ain't happening. Threw it out. Thank you. Yeah, I think the food is called Impossible, right? Isn't that the hamburgers that are made of the insect? They use insects and some kind of probably alfalfa or something, and they put coffee or something in it to make it taste like meat. It does not taste like meat. It tastes like a steer had a sick stomach. That's what it tastes like. The Impossible Burger. Yeah, absolutely. Because it's impossible to eat. It's impossible to actually swallow. Correct. Oh, it's soybeans, just me. Okay. Yick. Yeah, no, not gonna do, not that's impossible that I would ever think about eating it. My niece found a talon in her nugget. Oh my God. I would not let my kids eat chicken nuggets. Nope. Nope. Not happening. Mm-mm. Can't do it. Bye, Funky. You have a good afternoon. It's good to see you. I never had the nerve to try it. I can't, Mel Mac. I just can't. Mm-mm. I'm definitely a beef meat kind of person. Yeah, definitely. Oh, he's kidding. He said, I got to go, but he's just kidding, just joshing. Yeah, I can't. You know who is eating insects? Let's just roll with this topic for a minute, okay? Do you want to know who the people are that are eating insects? The people that say, yeah, this is definitely going to stop with climate. It's going to put a stop to climate change. It's going to make the world a healthier, better place for me and you. I'm willing to do my part. You know, I really like the cockroaches from Vietnam because they're nice and big and meaty. And just throw in, you know, some crumbled crickets from Croatia. And it's, you know, literally a delicious, you know, cuisine. And you just are stupid and short sighted because you can't appreciate the delicacies of insects. You want to know who says that? Do you want to know who says that? That's it. Argument one. I'm finished. This young lady right here, that's who says that. This person right here, this is who's eating insects. This lady right here. And call me crazy, but she looks a little dazed eyes. Don't you think? Don't her eyes look a little empty? She's sort of, you know, kind of out of it. Yeah. Because she's not getting any protein. She needs some protein. She needs some nutrition that was meant for human beings. Yes, Critter Watcher, hamburgers are burgers made of ham. Duh. Duh. Hey, Jessica Rutledge, how are you doing? It's good to see you. She is cute. She's precious. Absolutely precious. She is just as cute as she can be. And I don't, you know, there's lots of things people don't know. It's impossible for one person to know everything, right? But the part that gets me when she starts talking about she doesn't know how to educate the waitress. I mean, duh, it's right there in the name, hamburger. That's the part that kills me. That's the part that kills me. I'm just like this poor girl. And now, of course, the video clip is being shared to thousands of people, right? It's going to be like that beautiful young lady that was the beauty queen. Remember, they asked her some question. I don't even remember what the question was now. Such as, and so forth. I can't remember what the question was. I felt really sad for her. Lots of people made fun of her. Yeah. Hamburgers are burgers made of ham, Mel Mac. When are you going to get on board with this, Mel? Keep up with us. No insects, please. I'm with you. I'm going to come sit at your table, just to me. What is wild is I had never thought of ham in hamburger. Okay, so I live in Texas, right? And so in Texas, you know, the men cook a lot, and they do things like mix sausage with the ground up ribeye, and that's the kind of hamburgers we eat, right? They do crazy things like my son and my husband, they smoke an apple pie just because it's fun. You just do new things. Beef brisket. I mean, I want to know the first person that looked at pork fat and said, let's make candy out of it. I want to know who did that. And it's not good. It's sort of like someone took your candied apple and removed the apple and just filled it full of raw meat. It's just not good. Like bugs got bugs that could put cicadas in your meat or pork. Oh, black rose. I can't, right? Yicks, yicks. But lard and pie crust is the way to go. Okay, so lard and pie crust, yes, but you don't use lard as a filling for the pie. You don't make like lard pie, correct? Candied pork butt is literally chunks of bacon fat that is covered in this super thick, like brown sugar barbecue sauce. And then they cook it until it's nice and sticky, right? Was it Jessica Simpson that said chicken of the sea? Chicken of the sea. Or what about buffalo wings? Do you think this young lady right here is having trouble with wings on buffalo? Or chickens in the sea? Oh, your intestines, right, Melmac? Oh, gosh. Yeah, I can't. My dad used to really love the fat, like bacon. He loved it. I'm just like, ugh, no. But that's the difference between girl food and boy food, right? Girl food, we have some carrots, maybe we have a little bit of chicken, maybe we have some apples, and that's dinner. No. Men just look at a big pile of fat and say, let's put some sugary barbecue sauce on it and bake the hell out of it. It's sure to be good. Even thinking about it makes me nauseated.
Love pork candy.
I can't stand pork candy.
Love pork candy.
And I'll tell you the other bad thing about pork candy is that it looks delicious, right? When you see it in the pan and you just think, man, this is going to be the greatest. It's going to taste so good. And then when you cut into it, it's just drippy, greasy, icky.
Sweet, fat, good.
Did she brush her teeth? Got to brush her teeth. Sage, it's time to brush your teeth. Sage Rage is having salon day. Ordered fries one day and the waitress said French. Well, okay, so how many ways to make fries? There's French fries, there's dinner fries, there's breakfast fries. There's fried pickles, fried alligator. Fried what? Oh, fried green tomatoes. Oh, my favorite. My mom told me that when she went to school, she brought mustard biscuits. Now, that is something I've never heard of, mustard biscuits. How's that? I've never heard. I'm an old lady. Why wouldn't I have heard of mustard biscuits? Oh, I wanted to look at this real quick. So it looks like helicopter carrying Iran's president has crashed. Rescuers are trying to locate the helicopter on which President Ibrahim Raisi and Foreign Minister Hossein Amir Abdollahian was traveling. State media reported their status unknown. They got the foreign minister and the president. That is a game changer. Says searchers are working in heavy fog. IRNA reported an enormous search operation is underway involving 16 teams. Inclement weather is hampering the effort. The team has not yet located the crash site after 5 hours. State media has yet to report casualties or to confirm the whereabouts or the condition of the president. Cause of the crash unknown. Given the complexities of the region, connection has been difficult. Hoping rescue teams reach the helicopter, said the Interior Minister. Mr. Raisi, he's a big player. He's a big deal in this Iran-U.S. Negotiative power. Raisi was on an official visit to the province of Eastern Azerbaijan, mountainous region in northwest Iran. Northwest Iran. That's so close to Armenia. Delegation of ministers traveled with him in a convoy of 3 helicopters. 2 other aircraft did reach their destination. In addition to the president and the foreign minister, the governor of the province was also in the helicopter. They crashed in an area known as Vars Agan. Iran's law stipulates that if the president dies, power is transferred to the first vice president, and then an election must be called within 6 months. The first vice president is Mohammed Makbur, and I don't know anything about him. Let's see what we can find out. I don't know who that is. I'm still here. Hold on, I'm looking. This was something I really... Okay, it's been over 3 hours. This was just put out. It's been over 3 hours since the helicopter carrying Iran's president crashed. There's no doubt that there were several lines of communication on the helicopter. At this point, every media source is waiting confirmation on what is most likely the death of Ibrahim Raisi. After the helicopter, they have a fear that this is a coup. Some citizens of Iran have begun shooting fireworks in celebration of hopes that their president has died. And here, you know, this is a really big deal that they got both the foreign minister and the president. It's a really big deal. Hold on. Oops, wrong one. There we go. All right. So there they are.
30 اردیبهشت ماه 1403
بازدید رئیس جمهور از راهگذر ترانزیتی شمال غرب کشور مسیری مواصلاتی به طول 107 کیلومتر
What the hell are they up to?
جاده شرق به غرب آسیا را از خاک ایران به هم متصل می‌کند.
این مردن رئیس جمهور فقید کشورمون رو تبریک میگم به کل مردم ایران. امیدوارم که باقیه‌شون هم همینجوری سربنیست بشن. امروز 30 اردیبهشت ماه 1403.
So they're showing you that this is showing where they're surrounding the presidential area, the government area, because they think it's a coup. There's Beelzebub for you. That's the guy right there. He's the scary one.
بازدید رئیس جمهور از راهگذر ترانزیتی شمال غرب کشور، مسیری مواصلاتی به طول 107 کیلومتر که به صورت ریلی و جاده‌ای شرق به غرب آسیا را از خاک ایران
Well, that, yeah. Oh, here's some more. Better quality.
دارن فشفشه میزنن. به به. انشالله به واقعیت تبدیل شه. جشن گرفتن مردم به مناسبت
Go to latest. U.S. taking out Iran president same way they took out Kobe. Why? Now, come on. Why would anybody take out Kobe? That's silly. One of President Raisi's most recent videos has been released. That's one of his watch. They're looking at their nuclear facility. They must have had something going on in the mountains because that's where he went down at. Interesting. 4 Iranian. Okay, so here's some more information. The 4 Iranian officials who were on board the helicopter, according to the reports, Ibrahim Raisi, the president of Iran, Hossein Abdullahian, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Malik Ramadi, governor of Eastern Azerbaijan, Hashim Imam, Muhammad Ali al-Hashim is the imam in the Tabriz province. So these 4 guys supposedly died. We need to figure out what they had in common. I bet they're not dead. Rescue teams have come very close to the site of the plane crash. They don't know where it is. They haven't found it. Oh, now they're claiming it was a hard landing. That's different. He may be alive. Oh, God. Of course. Ibrahim Raisi was obviously a direct descendant of Prophet Muhammad. We knew that, right? Belongs to the ultra-conservative political wing. A hardliner. Opposed to restoration of the Iranian nuclear agreement. His wife has a PhD. She's a writer. They have 2 daughters. Well, we don't know yet, do we? Interesting. You think they're going to blame the United States? Is the president alive? Now they've said it was a hard landing. He's probably alive. They're up to something. They're up to no good, I think. Spokesman of Islamic Emirates expressed solidarity with Iran. Oh, no, it has not. See, it hasn't been found. Reports circulating that the helicopter has been found are fake. The search is still ongoing. So they don't know if it was a hard landing or if it was a crash. They don't know. They haven't found it yet. The weather in the area of the accident is not helping. So this is where they're looking. It looks terrible. No government cars there. They have not found it. So we don't know if it was an actual hard landing or an actual crash. Iran's supreme leader, here's Beelzebub for you. Iran's supreme, he eats insects, I'm certain of it. If we find single evidence that Israel is involved in the helicopter crash of the president of Iran, we will respond beyond imagination. You better check that bullshit right there, buddy. You may end up like those Impossible Burgers. People in Iran are setting off fireworks. Israeli officials suspect that the Iranian president is dead. They deny involvement. So they've officially denied involvement. Israel made Iran. Made Iran? How did they make him? Israel made Iran put its president on a 50-year-old helicopter and fly into a storm on the mountains. Oh, he's being facetious, isn't he? Okay. Iran halts air search for President Raisi's crushed helicopter due to weather conditions. Saudi Arabia announced support and readiness to provide necessary assistance to help with the helicopter accident. Now, I'm going to ask you guys a question, okay? We don't have to be military attachés. We don't have to be students of government, okay? Let's just take a little look at this picture. This man here has a look on his face. This man here has a look on his face. This man here, his job it is to protect. This man here, well, he has a look of concern on his face. What do you think these two are talking about? Do you think they're friends, or do you think they don't really like one another very much? Turkey has deployed night vision helicopters to aid in the search for Iran's missing president. Turkey deploys night vision. Oh, here's a wide angle picture of Tehran. Iran is actually a really, really beautiful country. It's very modern. And there was a period of time where the cities were like Paris, right? They were at beautiful, beautiful architectural buildings. The women dressed like they were in Paris fashion. And the Gulf Arab states, screwed that up. But they're young people. They have a large population of young people that really want to join, the rest of the world. All right. My husband was killed in action Vietnam in a helicopter. I'm so sorry, Black Rose. We had talked about that before, Black Rose. I remember. Yeah. Vietnam was a definite stain on this country, wasn't it? Terrible, terrible history. Jen Madison, historically, way back in the day, Saudis and Iran were friendly, then think we got too close to one or the other, forgot which it was. And you don't ever know, too, if we're being, openly, optically close with the country, or if we are subverting things by, being friendly behind the scenes. There's a lot of that going on in the United States government, although I'm sure I wouldn't know about that. I want to visit Persepolis. My dad fought in Vietnam. He was lucky to come back home. He's an American hero. Well, that'll be something to kind of. I'll tell you, it sounds like this guy's a hardliner. Maybe whomever replaces him will be more. Actually, the guy they named seems like he was. Let's see. I need to learn about. I don't know. I don't know him. Which maybe he's young. Being young might be a good sign. Let's see what they're saying about the first. Oh, this isn't who I thought it was. No. Mohammed Mukhbar is an Iranian politician who is serving on the 7th and current first vice president of Iran. What the? Okay. He's Persian, currently a member of the Expeditionary Discernment Council, former head of the execution of Imam Khomeini's order, which is ICO, chairman of board at Sinai Bank, Morton Desful. So upon the death of the president, according to the Constitution, temporary presidential council is formed. It will consist of the Speaker of the Assembly, head of the judiciary, and the first vice president. The council will organize a new election. So it's not like they actually have a vice president that moves into the position like we do. They just form the vice president, Speaker of the Assembly, and head of the judiciary. They form a committee that will rule for 50 days until a new president is elected. So Mohammed Mukhbar has 2 PhDs, international rights and management. Okay, so he was on the Islamic Revolutionary Guard, but he was in the medical corps, which is a good sign. Sent to Moscow, Supreme National Security Council, to finalize an agreement for surface-to-surface air missiles to Russia. It's all part of Iran's support for Russian invasion of the Ukraine. July 2010, European Union, President of Satad, in a list of persons and entities it was sanctioning for alleged involvement in the issue of nuclear or ballistic missiles activities. After passing 2 years, this sanction removed Mukhbar from the mentioned list. So he does seem to be pretty moderate. Huh. He's said to be part of the Independent Party. Well, anyway, we don't even know if the president is dead, do we? So interesting. Yeah, he's moderate. He was a part of the government suppressing opponents from the Iran Security Intelligence Secret Police. So the opponents against the Shah were like the Islamists and left-wing group. Interesting. Well, that'll be something interesting to watch unfold. I do think it's a bad sign. Let me say this. I do think it's rather a bad sign that it happened on Sunday afternoon. That's usually a time when you release news that you don't want the rest of the world to really talk about. So we'll see. All right, folks. I am going to end this live and get prepared to watch Martin and AK Rocks. And I will put the link to the channel. Her channel is called Another Day in the Car with Jules, Julez. And I'm getting the link. So give me 1 second. Another Day in the Car. I actually, got to meet Jules in Salida, and she's a sweetheart. Okay, where's my live? Here we go. I found it. Give me 1 second. I'll put the link up for you guys. The show, the live will start in 21 minutes. And we're going to talk about the telematics in Barry Morphew's truck, how it all fits in with the location where Suzanne was found and whatnot. So, oh yeah, Funky Jasunky. Love Brittany. Love. She's a sweetheart. So here's the link to Jules' channel. Like I said, it starts in 22 minutes, 21 minutes. And they're going to be talking about obviously data, which is what Martin Smallwood and AK Rocks do. They analyze data. They solve cases because the cops can't. Not all cops, just the cops in this one tiny little town in Colorado. All right. I hope to see you guys there. I had such a fun afternoon with you guys. Thank y'all for being here. I really appreciate you all. I hope you will hit the subscribe button if you have not already. And please, please, please leave a thumbs up just so people find my channel. All right. Y'all have a great day. See you over there.